Adrian, have I shown you Frankentron lately?
I have to say, dude, he's pretty cute.
I know,
He's
but
a
have I...
transformer and a Frankenstein.
Yeah, he's a Frankenstein who's also a Transformer. Not to be confused with Frankenstein, who is not a Transformer.
I love me some Boris Karloff.
Yeah, Frankenstein's pretty cool, but if he was a Frankentron in that 30s movie, can we do that? Hasbro, can you get on that? Alf, can you make a call to Hasbro? Yeah, so Frankenstein is my favorite movie of all time, 1931. Adrian, I hear you have a new favorite movie.
My new favorite movie is The Bride. It outclassed Labyrinth and Bram Stoker's Dracula for me, which is really saying something.
Monster Fangs! Monster Fangs. All right, so Adrian, tell me about the new hit film from the smash hit box office runaway success film from Maggie Gyllenhaal, director, writer, producer.
And yes, Maggie Gyllenhaal is fantastic. I recently watched an interview with her before I get into what the movie is about how she specifically made this movie for her daughters because her daughters think so much out of the box and she thought that their lives would be better if they could just conform, and then realized that that is not how she wanted her daughters to be raised and that she loved their weird uniqueness, and that is why she made this brilliant feminist flop of a movie that people hated, but it is on its way to being a cult classic already, I can guarantee you.
Yeah, and for reference, this is not kayfabe. We did watch the movie, and we did like it, I mean, we'll get into it in a second, but everyone hates this movie. No one has seen it. For some reason, when you make a movie with a feminist message, it's the worst thing ever, and everyone decides it's cringe, and then nobody sees it, and it doesn't make money. Yeah. I mean, you let the incels win, I guess. I don't know. I don't understand the culture war. I'm old.
I saw it twice in the theater. I actually took my 14-year-old daughter to see it the second time with the Amarillo Film Society. So at the end of the film, everyone stood up and gave it a standing ovation, which is the only time I've ever seen that happen in a theater. It was pretty epic.
Yeah, so, look, I like to joke with Adrian when she's excited about a new Dracula. Like, why are you excited? They make a new Dracula every week. And Frankenstein, they make a new Frankenstein every month, right? I mean, we just got the monumental Del Toro's Frankenstein. I mean, again, Frankenstein, Dracula. There's, I think, 2 Mummy movies coming out. Like, there's no end. There's no end to these classic Universal monsters. If you're in the public domain, you're probably getting a new movie eventually. So, like, with this movie, this is something different. This is actually something different. Now, yes, they do Frankenstein all the time. There are many versions of, the story of Victor or Henry Frankenstein creating a monster in his laboratory and the monster coming to life and going on a rampage. There aren't a lot of adaptations of Bride of Frankenstein. Off the top of my head, I think it's really just like Young Frankenstein, right?
There's Young Frankenstein, there's The Bride with Sting, which you did watch. I think you're just like washing that out of your mind.
I'm trying to forget the 1980s movie also called The Bride. We should talk about that in the
All
future.
of the glitter. All of the glitter.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad movie. That's a stinker. That movie's not doing anything. God damn it. Anyway, but yeah, and look, the whole Bride of Frankenstein thing, that's not something from the novel. That is specifically the sequel to the 1931 movie with Boris Karloff and Colin Clive and all our friends from the Universal stable of actors who are also mostly in Dracula and a bunch of their other movies because they didn't care. But this movie isn't just, a retelling of The Bride, right, Adrian?
Right. It is absolutely not. This movie, yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. It's set in a filthy, scummy, wild world of 1930s mobsters and gangsters. And Well, it's effectively being framed as a story being told to us by Mary Shelley. But it's not just Mary Shelley. It's a vindictive, angry ghost of Mary Shelley who is sick and tired of all this shit that she's watching.
Yes, the ghost of Mary Shelley is probably one of my favorite parts. And you have the character of the bride, who at first is just a person who's trying to do good in the world, by kind of going undercover and trying to basically have this very bad mobster arrested. She's working with a cop. You find all of this out kind of later, but they kill her at the beginning. She dies. But it's kind of like they kill her, but also the ghost of Mary Shelley kills her because she gets possessed by the ghost of Mary Shelley. So in the movie, she's literally 3 different characters. She's the human version of herself occasionally. She is the bride, who is the person that she's in the process of becoming, and she is the ghost of Mary Shelley.
Was I just the same before the accident?
It wasn't any accident.
Yeah, it's really cool because what's going on is this, if you've read Kurt Vonnegut's Breakfast of Champions, where he eventually just inserts himself into the story in a really obnoxious way. That's what Mary Shelley does, because she's really... It isn't enough that she's going to tell this vindictive, feminist story. She has to be part of it. And that's kind of how the movie starts. And it sets the tone in a really vicious way, because this isn't a straight melodramatic retelling of something. This isn't just another gothic epic, right? Like, we just saw the Luc Besson Dracula, where it's doing this whole romantic thing. This movie is tongue firmly in cheek, middle finger to anything you're expecting.
It is wild. It is messy. It is creative. The way they set it in the 30s, the costuming is beyond stunning. There's dance sequences that are like out of this world. And I will tell you, Christian Bale can tap dance his way into my heart anytime. Okay. This is probably my favorite version of Christian Bale. And I have a lot. This is my favorite version of him. Because, yeah.
It's funny that you say that, because my fiance, he actually described this movie. He loved it too. He described this movie as burlesque. It's obnoxious. It's over the top. There aren't song numbers, but there are dance sequences. And Christian Bale plays the monster. He looks a little like me, actually.
He's Prince.
He is like Prince. He comes to talk to this female biologist.
She's kind of like I guess modern for the standards. She's a humanist who's experimenting on bringing animals back to life.
Right.
She's looking at, creating her own creations.
Yeah,
and he had read all of her books.
He'd read all of her books. Yes, this is a very scholarly monster. He's kind of like the monster from the book, right? He's not a meanie bobini like a lot of the monsters are. He just really wants a girlfriend. I don't think he's ever had sex, right, Adrian?
No, he's never even had anyone touch his hand or hug him, because he is frightening to look at, but actually he's not. Self-prescribed monster fucker, he's precious. Like, I thought he was very, very cute. But no, yeah. And the doctor is played by Annette Bening, who a lot of you guys will know was from The American President and was married to Warren Beatty, who actually played Clyde in Bonnie and Clyde, which is important later.
Well, yeah, because this movie is kind of a Bonnie and Clyde thing.
Yes.
Now, I just want to say, Christian Bale is a comedic genius. Like, that is an actor with a lot of depth. You probably know that already, but if you only know him from, like, Batman Begins...
or Little Women.
Yeah, he has a lot of range. It's not just American Psycho and, The Dark Knight. Like, he is a maestro. He is a genius. It's funny, because in Thor 4, he's, like, in a different movie. Like, his performance is, like... one of the all-time greats. It's just, he's in one of the most obnoxiously unfunny movies of all time. In this movie, he's great. He is very sensitive. He's very entitled. But, he's the Frankenstein monster. That monster is an incomplete man. And, by the end of it, he doesn't quite develop, right?
I feel like he did develop because at the end, well, we're not there yet, but at the end, she's like, I don't want to get married. I don't want to be this. I don't want to be that. And he's like, okay, I love it. Yes. And he lets her choose her own name because it starts out where he chose her name for her. She doesn't know that she's dead, that she's been resurrected. She is told that she was in an accident.
Yes. Yes.
And that he knew her before. So he makes up these stories not knowing who she was before because they dug up her corpse. He and Annette Bening dig up her corpse. And she's beautiful. And at first he's terrified because he thinks she's too beautiful for him. Because he's so monstrous.
He's so monstrous, yeah.
But he's not.
I can't remember, but the detective duo who are looking for them, are they looking for them because of the club scene? Or
yes, once...
Okay.
So there's this beautiful club scene. He takes her out dancing, and he loves dancing movies. He's obsessed with these films done by Jake Gyllenhaal, and he loves to dance, but he won't dance himself. He feels uncomfortable, like he doesn't like to draw attention to himself, but he lets her go to the club with him. He sits there drinking alcohol, which he has never done before like he says in the film. And he's watching her do this crazy, manic pixie dream girl dance. And the colors are bright and vivid and flashing, and it's magical. And everyone's like, she's like doing these like almost thriller-like moves at moments. It's really fun. But then these guys start kind of coming up to her thinking, ooh, there's a sexy lady. And they won't leave her alone. So they decide to leave. Well, the guys follow them out. And of course, these dudes are really bad. They try to assault her. And so he's like, no. And he kills them. And there's a guy with a camera out there doing a photo shoot and takes a picture of them while a cop car goes by. So everyone knows that these two people killed these two dudes. So they go on the run because he's like, I've been through this before. You have no idea how bad this gets. And you're thinking, pitchforks and fire because Frankenstein.
Well, he also warns her. He's like, we need to keep a low profile because we're monsters. And people love to make mobs. They love to carry pitchforks and torches and chase us out of town, which calls to different kinds of oppression, of course. I mean, it's been a long time since, my people, the Jews, have been chased out of a town. But, that sort of thing still does happen.
You will not replace us! You will not!
Yeah.
So then you have these two detectives. You have Penelope Cruz and you have Peter Sarsgaard, not to be mixed up with any of these Skarsgård brothers. This is Peter Sarsgaard, who is actually married to Maggie Gyllenhaal. Where Penelope Cruz is the really smart detective, but she has to act like his secretary because women were not taken seriously. And there's so many times in the film, like, I love Penelope Cruz in this so hard. I think she's one of the true feminist heroes of the film.
Yeah,
because
she's actually the real detective, right?
She's the real detective, and he won't let her, like, step up there. And there's this moment where she's in this room with all of these cops, and this guy offers Sarsgaard a cigarette, and she's like, I want one. And then she says it again, and then she says it again, and he keeps ignoring her until finally she's like, hey, I would love a cigarette. I exist. I'm here. I'm taking up space.
And she just takes one.
Yeah, she does.
It's pretty cool. There's this scene where they're driving, and she's like, hey man, if we actually catch them, can I have the credit for this one? And he's like, I don't know, Toots.
It's like, that's not how it's done. We have to make things just work. He doesn't want to buck against, the thing. But then you find out that he knew our bride before she was the bride when she was a human. She was his contact, and she was trying to help him take down this mob boss who was cutting out tongues of women.
Right.
It's so interesting, but he was corrupt and he let it go because he doesn't want to buck against the system. So he didn't do anything with it, and she died.
Not symbolic at all, by the way, cutting, women's tongues out.
I mean, let's go to Titus right there.
For those not in the know, Titus Andronicus is, of course, a classic Shakespeare play where a woman is raped and defiled and has her tongue and hands cut off. Yeah. Lavinia, right?
Yep. They cut off her hands and they put tree branches in the stumps of her wrists.
I think that's just the Jolie Taymor, but yeah.
It's that imagery is so haunting to me. It's something I'll never forget. But there's also a moment in The Bride where she sticks out her tongue and it's black and she's just like, ugh, because tongues and language are a big kind of thing in the film.
It's a big motif in the movie. Also, tongues are overly sexualized. Like in Israel, if a woman eats ice cream in public, like people are ultra Orthodox Jews are known to throw rocks and feces at them because, I don't know why those women think they can just, tempt men by eating ice cream in public. I mean, who would do such a thing, right?
Because that's the problem. The Bride is the female monster that so many women need and have never gotten until this movie.
Yeah, and that's a good note actually to move to because I love The Bride of Frankenstein. I think it's a masterpiece. I think it's almost a flawless movie, right?
Yes.
It's not as perfect as the first one, Frankenstein, but
so beautiful.
It is so beautiful. It's very funny, it's very charming, it's very evocative, it's incredible. But the bride herself, not only is she not a character,
The Bride of Frankenstein.
at the end, they unwrap her and bring her to life, and Pretorius goes, "The Bride of Frankenstein," and they play wedding bells and all that, and then she doesn't like the monster, and everyone throws a hissy fit, and the monster blows up the tower because if I can't have you,
nobody
can have you, baby. Yeah.
And that's not a problematic thing even still right now. It's fine.
I fuck with your fucking face, man.
You can just reference
that's the face
the
he makes when
bride
he kidnaps
in
Elizabeth
Creature
in the first
Commandos
movie.
for that.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I love The Bride. I think it's incredibly underrated right now. It'll find an audience as time goes on, but it's really fucking good. I mean,
Did you do something wrong? Something you thought you might get away with?
That is Jessie Buckley. And Jessie Buckley just won an Academy Award, and she is the first Irish actress to ever win Best Actress.
her performance, her performance is really good. She does this fascinating word association thing where she just starts saying words and overwhelming people, and they can't follow her, but she's just like, "I'm not part of your world. Nothing breathes, nothing grows. Fuck you."
Well, and it's also the Mary Shelley in her that ticks off, and sometimes it just gets started, and you can see it's incredible. Like I said, she's 3 different women all at the same time, and they're all trying to figure out who and what they want.
Kind of a mother maiden crone thing, I guess, right?
That was exactly in my notes right here.
Yeah, because Mary Shelley is this matron, and then when she's doing her thing in the club, she's very, I don't want to say innocent, but naive and
she's
part of the
very
system.
innocent.
Yeah, but then as the movie goes, when she becomes the bride with and Adrian's done an incredible job on her makeup, she has a blemish on her skin, right? It's very stylistic, exquisite. I do look nice, but not by your standards. My makeup is fucking smeared. Fuck you. I like it.
It's so powerful. And there is this thing where in the film she becomes an icon in the newspapers, a lot like Bonnie and Clyde that were over romanticized, you know, where women start dressing up like the bride and they start taking their power back and they start going after these mobsters and they're shooting guns off in the street and they do their makeup like the bride and they wear her little black hair thing that she gets.
Right.
The black, what is it? Tulle. It's like black tulle. It's beautiful.
I don't know things. But yeah, it's what I really like too is that they are monsters, but only societally, because they don't actually do anything wrong. Like Bonnie and Clyde are like robbing banks together and shooting. I love that fucking movie. That's like peak 70s like drama to me, you know?
It is magic. I watched that for the first time with Nana and we had so much fun. It is a glorious movie. I'm also a sucker for good costuming, which, you know, Bonnie and Clyde 100%.
Oh yeah. But yeah, you know, in summary, this movie is really good. It's been slept on, mistreated. The budget is comically high for what it is. But at the end of the day, I'm glad it got made. And look, it ain't perfect.
It's a mess, but it's supposed to be messy. I love it. It doesn't have to be, like, by standards perfect. And quite honestly, if the commentary we were getting from reviewers, even the New York Times, for example, if the commentary were intelligent and being like, oh, the pacing's wrong, which I have heard a couple times. Colby Does Horror said that, but he also was like, this is a fantastic fucking movie. It's a mess.
Yeah.
That is intelligent criticism. No, that's not what we're getting on this movie. Everyone, I say everyone, there is a certain audience that is really uncomfortable with this movie and they're just calling it trash.
Yeah.
And like not saying anything intelligent about it or acknowledging what it's actually doing.
It's definitely imperfect, right?
I would like to say that I did take my 14-year-old daughter to see this film. And as a girl, she sat next to me and there is this moment in the film where the bride starts screaming and crying and she's like, I didn't ask for this. I didn't want any of this. And then she's just like so angry. And she's like talking about this, you know, this anger bubble in the pit of her stomach. And she's like, me too. And I cried both times watching that because as a woman, and the whole thing is like not having agency, not having a voice, and then finding it and fighting for it, right? Because even the police detective has to do that. And at the end, you know, there's this whole moment and my daughter starts crying, like she's sobbing, and we get out of the movie. And I was like, ooh, maybe I made a bad parenting choice. And she's like, no, Mom, she's like, as a girl, I watch me and my friends and we don't, like, nobody listens to me. Nobody listens to girls. Like, nobody listens to us. And she's like, I get angry. I get so angry. And I've never seen a film actually voice that in a way that this did. And she's 14 and it was really powerful. And I told her, you know, that's why movies like this need to exist. Mm-hmm. Because even though the world can sometimes, especially like right now, for example, be a dumpster fire, that is when the great art starts coming out, because that is how we win.
Very well said.
Thank you. Well, I wanted to say one more thing before we get to the rating system.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I did watch this film with the Film Society, and my friend Kate messaged me afterwards. She is the president of the Amarillo Film Society and the Amarillo International Film Festival. Okay, and she and I were talking, and she loved the costuming, but she said it felt more like a straight up horror movie to her instead of a feminist anthem because, and I quote, feminist does not mean you have to be good. Feminist does not mean you have to be more of a ball buster than the most alpha male. And although I understand where that comment comes from because she's from an older generation, sometimes the world is violent and it treats us violently. And the only way to stand up for yourself and protect yourself is that, which is what she, the bride, represents to me, at least.
Yeah, sometimes at a certain point, words break down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I will say that Penelope Cruz's character, the police detective, is probably one of the most true to form feminist characters. And she makes some decisions that are so beautiful, and she's so smart.
She's the foil to the bride. You know, she is taking in the bride, even though the bride is just advocating for herself and fighting. She's really a victim in all this, but they have to bring her in and pull their guns on her. And like Penelope Cruz is your classic. She's like the black guy on the police force who shoots a kid or something, and it's like, no, I'm advocating for everyone. We're gonna make it better by working within the system.
At the end, she becomes an actual police detective. Sarsgaard gives her his badge because he tells her, I'm a bad cop, I'm dirty, I retire, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. Because there's a moment where the bride could kill him, but she realizes who he is, so she just shoots him in the leg. Because she's done with killing people. But then some very bad things happen, and it's very tragic for a moment, and Penelope Cruz decides to save her. She sends, because she's the woman with power at the end, and she's the one with the agency, and she sends all of the men out of the laboratory and lets the doctor do what she's gonna do to save the bride and Frankie.
It's a pretty cool ending, and it's not much of a spoiler because this movie is very, very loud and
there's really, you can't spoil it. Like, there's no way to spoil it. When you watch it, it's a fever dream. It's a wild, colorful, magnetic fever dream.
Which brings us to our rating system. I've come up with 10 points. Each one is out of 10 for, a score that's ultimately a decimal point out of 10. I gave the script an 8 because I thought it was very successful at what it was doing. It was an aggressive, overwhelming, feminist, I'm going to use anthem.
It is an anthem. It's a song that people, or at least women, are screaming out that have seen it because it didn't stay in the theaters long.
I gave pacing an 8 because all pacing means is, were you horribly bored? And aside from a few scenes that went on a little too long, I really wasn't. Pacing is a flat 8. Acting is an 8 as well. I thought Christian Bale and Mrs. Buckley were incredible. They were brilliant. The detective duo were phenomenal. The doctor lady was incredible. Some of the acting was a little hammy. That's okay. Honestly, it wasn't perfect, so it gets an 8 also. Comprehensibility gets a 6 because it lost me a few times, and I just kind of shrugged. I turned to my fiance, and I'm like, and he's like, yep. Effects are a flat 10. This movie looks fucking great. Nothing, there's no bad CGI. The cars look all period appropriate. The costumes are good. Let's see, casting is a flat 9. Need I say more?
Yeah, you can't. It's perfect.
Music is a 10. Duration, it was a little long. That's the runtime. I gave it a 5. Costumes are a 10. And the free point, basically, did I just like it? I gave it a flat 10 for a total score of 8.4, which I round down to 8 out of 10. So that's my ranking. What are your scores, Adrian? Script? That's like
okay.
Dialogue.
The script, I'm going to tell you, was super powerful to me, so I gave it a 9.
Damn. Okay. Higher than me. Yep.
There were some, when the male detectives are talking, and there's a few moments where Sarsgaard's kind of flat, but Penelope Cruz was never flat. But he's a little flat sometimes, especially towards the end when it should matter. Okay. But yes, the moment where she's screaming "Me Too," everything that comes out of Jessie Buckley's mouth or Christian Bale's mouth, I thought it was phenomenal. And it really mattered. It hit. It drove it home. So I did give that a 9.
Pacing?
Okay. So the pacing is a little awkward at times, but I'm used to David Lynch films. So not everything has to be on the move, I guess.
So your score?
I would give that an 8 because it didn't really bother me because I was entertained the whole time.
Yeah, same. That was my score too.
Yeah, no, it's definitely an 8 because I was never bored, not for a single second, and I've seen it twice.
Comprehensibility?
Okay, this is the hardest one for me, guys, because like I said, I'm a David Lynch girl. So not everything has to make sense for me. Mm-hmm. I'm used to those weird, awkward moments and conversations and weird dreamscapes. So I gave that a 9 too. I just did, but I know
Effects?
I know that I'm probably wrong, but that's what I gave it.
Effects.
Okay, that was a 10, straight up 10/10. It was gorgeous. That movie it's so beautiful.
Casting?
110. It's a 10. It's a 10. You can't get better. Christian Bale, he's so hammy sometimes. He loves to be a scene stealer. But he actually kind of dials himself back in this movie in a way I've never seen him do it, so that he can let Jesse Buckley shine. And it is incredible. He's
able to match her energy. He's a very impressive actor. Like, he's
I know.
sorely underrated. He's better than Leo,
He's I've always thought that, though. Like,
they were rivals for a minute,
I think Christian Bale is an infinitely better actor than Leonardo DiCaprio. Come at me, bro. Come at me.
Music?
The music is a 10.
Yeah.
You have that 30s awesomeness, but then it's mixed with some modern, like, dream moments, and it's so fun.
Okay. Duration? Runtime.
The timing didn't really bother me, so I'm gonna give that one probably an 8.
Damn. Okay. And costumes?
10.
Yeah, I know.
Like I said, guys, this is my new favorite movie, and I never thought I would live to see the day at the bright age of 44 where a movie replaced Bram Stoker's Dracula. I did not think that would ever happen, but this did it.
And are you going to give it the full free point?
I'm giving it the full free point, man. It gets all my points.
Adrian's score is also 8.4 out of 10. Are you going to round up or down?
I'm going to round it up. We're going to give it a 9 for me. It's a 9 for me.
What's math? 9 out of 10.
It's David Lynch math. Who cares?
Better than Pokemon math. I would recommend this movie. I think it's great. I like art house movies. I also like David Lynch movies. I also like Cronenberg movies, so go figure. But, if you have a taste for theater, you have a taste for burlesque, you have a taste for art house, and you like your movies to be political polemics, and you also just like gothic horror and Frankensteins,
The Bride is really for women or people that feel that their voices are small and they have no agency. This movie really matters to mothers and fathers raising girls. This movie matters. This is our monster. She's ours. She's so human in ways, even though she's not. Like Dan was saying earlier, there's an innocence about her. Like, she's trying to figure out who she is. And when she claims that, it made me cry. When she's screaming out because she's so angry. And you guys all understand the meaning of me too, but the way that she says it, and she's screaming it and crying, it's so beautiful. There is also an end-credit scene. So if you're going to watch this movie, not that you're going to mind the music anyway, because it's flipping fantastic. The end-credit scene is phenomenal.
There you go. So, Adrian, I think this is a great entry in the Dark Universe, I'm really excited.
I don't know, ask Lee Cronin.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, I guess Tom Cruise is in that movie. But yeah, so do you think the Tom Cruise mummy is going to team up with the Bride and they're going to fight, like, the new mummy in the Lee Cronin movie, or what?
Honestly, if Tom Cruise teamed up with the Bride, I'd still watch it, but I can guarantee you she'd probably off him too.
Oh, fuck. That's crazy. Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Yeah. Well, maybe the detective will team up with Russell Crowe or whoever played Mr. Hyde.
Penelope Cruz is magic. I loved her in Vanilla Sky.
Is that a Tom Cruise
movie? With Tom Cruise, yes.
Oh, they're getting reunited. Dark Universe. It's making dreams come true,
That's what we do here at Monster Fangs, guys.
Yeah, we talk about the Dark Universe,
All the time, apparently.
Yeah, sadly. All right, well, on that note, go watch The Bride and write poetry, make art, love your monsters, fuck your monsters.
Yes and yes. Yes-ish. I don't know. Yes. All of them.
Oh,